Tonight, a special edition of Nightline, the urgent threat facing American children.
It's almost biblical in its definition of evil, what happened.
Inside 764, the sinister online network forcing kids to do horrifying things, even suicide.
They took advantage of Jay's loneliness and his kindness, and then they completely preyed on his insecurities.
Parents now pushing for change, and the unlikely whistleblower who blew the case wide open.
I don't think we'd be here if she hadn't come forward.
Plus, how can 764 be stopped? What law enforcement and government are doing.
Do these groups have no shame? And also, frankly, do the platforms have no shame?
What one platform, Roblox, is saying tonight.
This special edition of Nightline, Web of Danger. We'll be right back. Welcome to this special edition of Nightline. I'm joined by ABC's Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas. Welcome back to Nightline, Pierre.
Good to be here.
I know you've been working on this story for nearly a year.
Indeed. Juju, this is truly one of the most terrifying stories I've ever covered in my 30 years as a journalist. We're talking about a network that's both a national security threat and also a direct threat to the nation's families. It's a story of pure evil, a network that seeks to sow chaos in our society, one child at a time.
You're about to meet heartbroken parents and a teenage whistleblower from halfway around the world. And we must warn you, there is graphic content and imagery that might disturb some viewers. The darkest corners of the internet, terrorizing the most vulnerable in the most unexpected places.
If it's happening here, it's happening everywhere and anywhere.
Gig Harbor, Washington, a lush suburb of Seattle.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
It's where 13-year-old Jay Taylor grew up.
I love you. I'm sorry I couldn't, talk to you on FaceTime.
And it's where he was targeted in the middle of the night in his own home by a sinister online network called 764.
We knew there were bad people on the internet, period, when we had those conversations.
And you tried to limit it.
Oh yeah, it was locked down.
But it wasn't enough. 764, a loose network of anonymous people online across the world, had targeted Jay. Their goal? To unleash chaos. Their targets? Mostly children.
It's chopping time.
Like this girl, coerced to cut her own hair and eat it.
One of the worst offenders of grooming and extortion.
The FBI calling 764 one of the biggest emerging threats.
We're going after the new form of what I refer to as modern-day terrorism in America, 764 crimes.
Each and every one of the 55 FBI field offices across the country are investigating 764-related cases. Charges ranging from animal cruelty to child pornography to murder and even alleged terrorism.
They're calling it the #1 digital threat right now against kids.
Pushed into sexual and violent behavior.
This is about the most disturbing story I've seen.
It's one thing to learn that your child died by suicide. It's another thing to learn that people were watching.
Right.
And egging him on.
Sickening.
And the unlikely whistleblower on the other side of the world who blew the case wide open.
They said that they made sure to stay on the court to make sure that he was dead.
What happened to Jay Taylor still haunts his parents 3 years later.
This is probably one of our favorites.
Oh my goodness.
We call this the 100 Bobs.
Jay had fallen in love with arts and crafts at a young age and started selling his creations on Etsy.
How would you describe Jay's personality?
Very accepting and loving, very much just shared love with anyone.
Okay, pick a card, Eddie. Wow, great choice.
He'd come out as transgender, struggled during the pandemic, even hospitalized for a time for self-harm. But by January 2022, he seemed to be getting better. Finding what he thought was a safe community of friends on the social media platform Discord.
He had gone on to the internet for these arts and crafts communities.
99% of whenever we do our checks, were craft related. Mm-hmm. And light and airy.
It seems so innocent
patterns.
on Discord.
Yeah,
Right.
very.
We're gonna do this. Look how awesome Jay is. He is so... Everything seemed like we were in a nice, healthy place.
Then early one morning, the police came to their home. Jay had taken his own life.
What went through your mind when you heard that?
Just completely stunned. Jay's not in my life anymore. I couldn't grasp that.
But a few days into their grief, what Jay's parents discovered would launch a murder investigation.
There's someone from Australia that's contacted me saying there was something going on when Jay died. And sure enough, this Australian teen had the actual video captured.
That teen in Australia alerting Jay's parents to what really happened. Jay was allegedly coerced on Discord into taking his own life by a member of 764.
Jay had posted, "I'm looking for friends, preferably LGBTQ, for crochet buddies."
His parents say a 764 member masquerading as a crochet pen pal befriended him. But that seemingly innocent beginning quickly escalated. Authorities say ultimately 764 members bullied him into live streaming his own suicide.
You could see they were interacting.
And watching.
And typing and watching. Saying things like, "Oh, take your clothes off, it'll be hotter." Just sickening.
I was sending the video around.
Lily is the Australian teen who saw the gruesome episode. Lily is a nickname. We're not showing her face to respect her privacy. She too says she was targeted by 764 members.
I hated that I was added to that group chat, and I wish it never happened. They were saying horrible things, misgendering him, calling him fat. They said that they got him to kill himself, and they were saying in the group chat that they wanted to do it to someone else.
So it was as if they were bragging about it.
They definitely were.
Authorities say members of 764 eventually manipulated Jay to hang himself from a grocery store fence at 4 in the morning on January 17th, 2022.
They took advantage of Jay's loneliness and his kindness, and then they completely preyed on his insecurities.
I just think about how I don't want it to happen to anyone else.
You reached out to Jay's parents that these people need to be stopped.
I couldn't just do nothing about it.
So how did 764 become so widespread and dangerous so quickly? It was created roughly 4 years ago by then 15-year-old Bradley Cadenhead, now serving 80 years behind bars for child pornography. He named it after the first 3 digits of his zip code in Stephenville, Texas. 764 began on Discord, but moved to other platforms like Roblox and Telegram, quickly becoming popular in other countries. This 19-year-old, an alleged 764 member, arrested in the UK, charged with child porn and encouraging a suicide.
This one down. You got anything on you shouldn't have?
Experts say the majority of aggressors in 764 are actually young people.
The entire incentive structure of these spaces is to get as many victims as you can.
Matt Kreiner researches violent extremists like 764, which has an alarming hallmark.
Depraved acts against youth, getting them to cut themselves, put their name, cut it into their skin until it bleeds profusely, write it on the wall with that blood. Essentially, they're building them into a cult.
Kreiner says 764 has a clear blueprint of recruitment, finding vulnerable targets online, gaining trust, exposing them to violent material, then extorting them.
And they'll say, okay, I know who you are. I've maybe shown you child pornography. So if you do not do this, I will tell your family that you were consuming child pornography, and now your life is ruined.
Kreiner estimates that as many as 10,000 people are engaging with 764 related content at any given time. Lily says she was targeted by a chilling number of users. Was it 5, 10, a dozen?
I lost count.
Police evidence shows how unsettling the network's tactics can be.
It's chopping time.
764 members blackmailing this girl to cut her own hair and eat it.
We told you what you need to do. You have 30 seconds.
The tactics intensify to sexually explicit demands on camera. Back in Gig Harbor, Lily becomes the linchpin in the investigation after she tracked down Jay's parents and handed over the suicide video. Investigators call her a hero.
I don't think we'd be here if she hadn't come forward.
Former FBI Special Agent Pat McMonagle and his colleagues had to watch the video over and over.
We had done a lot of research to try and figure out who had seen that video and who was in the group, who was bystanders, who was witnesses, who were the perpetrators.
After months of digging, the trail of clues led to a Discord account with the alias White Tiger, linked to an address in Hamburg, Germany.
So tell me who White Tiger is.
He was, at the time, a minor.
A teenage medical student.
Teenage medical student. And so we thought, well, this can't be right.
He refers to himself as a pedophile. What do you think motivates these guys? And I would imagine some girls.
And they've done this self-radicalized process, desensitize themselves to all violence. And we'd found him with pictures of him with swords and in Nazi uniforms and, you know, with swastika flags and things like that.
Authorities say White Tiger is an Iranian German named Shahriar. They say he was 17 when he allegedly pressured Jay to take his own life, and that he used other 764 victims to carry out some of his alleged crimes.
It's almost considered a prize to get another child to die by suicide.
Yeah,
take
just
their
sick.
own life.
Yeah, he saw him as a pawn in a video game, basically.
It's almost biblical in its definition of evil, what happened.
In the U.S., there are no federal laws criminalizing such coerced violence. But McMonagle and his partner went to Germany, where White Tiger could be charged with murder.
We knew really everything about him.
And yet for you...
We crawled in his life, and yet nothing was happening. It was just hard mentally, too. And I was just struggling with it.
After nearly 20 years in counterterrorism, Pat McMonagle retired in 2024. Jay's case was his very last. In June, police in Germany arrested the man they believe is White Tiger, charging him with Jay's murder and more than 200 counts of sexual abuse and violence against 30 victims in multiple countries. He's denied all charges.
What's the punishment that he deserves?
I'm not one for the death penalty. At the same time, it's like if he does get in prison, he should never get out.
The Taylors are now turning their attention to what they believe is an even more dangerous enabler, Discord. The family is planning to sue.
I know what killed Jay. It was Discord. Because that was the doorway that these bad guys that we would never let into our home.
They allow users to run scripts on their system that will eradicate their footprints, will delete everything they were saying to Jay. Discord allows users to hide evidence of foul play on their system, and that attracts these type of organizations to just fester and grow and emboldens.
When asked for comment, a Discord spokesperson told ABC News the company does not endorse third-party tools used to delete messages, and that 764 has no place on Discord or anywhere in society, adding that Discord uses a range of tools, including machine learning and human content moderation, to proactively detect and remove content that violates our policies.
I really don't know what we could have done differently with him.
The Taylors are hoping their son's legacy will shine a light into the darkest corners of the internet.
I couldn't live with myself not making this push now, making it public, because if I read a story like Jay's, after Jay's passed, we failed Jay.
Such determined parents. And when we come back, how can 764 be stopped?
We go deep inside the investigation. How far is law enforcement willing to go to take down the network?
Martin, like your last name or name? What is it? Last name.
This man at the scene of a car accident in Arizona 2 years ago
There's stopped cars on the road.
is allegedly a high-ranking member of 764.
He looked like a gangly, skinny kid.
But just weeks ago, in an extraordinary move, the Justice Department charging 21-year-old Baron Martin with conspiring to provide material support to terrorists and 28 other offenses for allegedly running a brutal branch of 764 out of Arizona and producing this guide on how to groom and extort struggling children.
It's not just an individual going out, they're replicating themselves.
Exploiting children and just outrageous ways.
Authorities believe 764 is unique, both a national security threat and directly impacting families.
There has been a deadly high school shooting in the Nashville area.
Authorities telling ABC News they're even investigating whether 764 may have influenced recent school shootings.
Individuals like Solomon Henderson in Antioch, Tennessee, made direct reference to 764 within his manifesto.
If you were sending a warning, what would it be?
There needs to be consequences for these awful, vile predators, and criminal cases need to be pursued against them.
The Justice Department has publicly charged at least 30 people in recent years with suspected ties to 764 or affiliated networks, including Martin, who intends to plead not guilty. And the FBI says it's investigating more than 350 others all across the country.
Law enforcement is on it, but law enforcement is only capable of doing so much.
By all accounts, one of the first lines of defense against 764 is the gaming and social media platforms where experts say it breeds.
Like any other old school predator, they go where the children are.
That's reflected in this interrogation of a convicted 764 associate.
What other social media sites do you go on besides Discord and Telegram? That's really all I use.
The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children saying in just the first half of this year alone, it received 1,000 reports of abuse tied to 764 or similar online networks.
Do these groups have no shame? And also, frankly, do the platforms have no shame?
Discord, Roblox, and other platforms say they're working aggressively to remove bad actors and harmful content, including by investing in new digital tools and cooperating with law enforcement. Lawmakers from both parties for years have been calling on platforms to do more to fight online predators.
This is the legislation that will hold big tech accountable.
A bipartisan bill that would force platforms to go even further has passed the Senate, but failed to pass in the House.
Senator, should there be legislation to actually criminalize people who solicit someone to actually harm themselves or other people?
I believe there should be. In my mind, that's a total crime.
It's clear 764 represents a daunting challenge, in some cases with life and death in the balance.
There's a tendency by people to want to turn away. You know, we must listen to this awful stuff and accept that it's a reality because it's happening in our homes.
And we'll be right back.
And finally tonight, some news and some changes underway on a popular platform. Pierre, today Roblox announcing they're going to take steps to verify it's actual children talking to children to keep predators away. What more can be done?
Legislation in Congress is basically stalled. So again, this is going to come down to parents. They have to engage with their children. They have to know which social media platforms they're using and just continue to engage and know what they're doing.
And we spoke to two sets of parents in this. What was your takeaway?
I was struck by the family really working to salvage the life of their daughter who had been communicating with a 764 member.
And it's incredibly important, both as an intimate family measure, but also as a national security issue.
Indeed, 764 acts very similar to ISIS and Al-Qaeda in that they're trying to get vulnerable people to commit acts of mass violence.
So important. Such an important story. So happy to be in concert with you for this journalism. Thanks, Pierre. And that's Nightline for tonight. Thanks for staying up with us. Good night, America.